Miami Airport, the gateway to the Caribbean. At least so they say. Welcome to Santo Domingo. Just passed a bunch of money exchangers. I would recommend you wait till you get out of the airport. It's usually cheaper. Just came through customs. Took about 15 or 20 minutes. There was it wasn't that full. We were the only flight, so it seemed pretty short. All right, picked up the bags, got your last little declare anything, and heading out this way. There is Uber, and I do highly recommend Uber here. The taxis will try and give you like $45 fare from here into like Zona Colonial. The first time, they have a little piece of paper that says $45, and you're like, oh, that's all I can do. But if you just refuse it and walk away, someone will come up to you and you can get it for $1,000. If you do Uber, it's quite a bit less than that. So we'll see how much it is to get into the Zona Colonial from here. Rental cars are right there. I've rented cars here before. Usually takes a little while. They do accept other insurance, like on your credit card or something, but they'll try and hit you up for like $15 a day insurance. And this is where you walk out and everybody greets you. So this is the first time you'll see people. So all of the ATMs are either out of cash or they only want to give you like 500 pesos. So I can't get any money out here. So you can exchange if you need to get a taxi or something. But they will take American dollars, but they'll give you a horrible exchange rate. So bring some cash to exchange or try the ATMs. There's Columbus's house.
Casa de Colón.
Casa de Colón? Casa de Colón. Yeah, it's probably better in the daytime, but I'll kind of get a shot of it at least a little bit. You can see these are the cliffs that they built all the government buildings on back in Christopher Columbus's time. And those are hotels. So they're making some kind of movie, supposedly. Okay, walking down, first day. This is the later in the morning. I'm gonna go check out the rental car place to see if I can get a rental car. To drive up to Cabarete. Spent a couple days in Santo Domingo, so we'll go to the ATM and try and take out some cash after this. This is the older architecture walking down towards the ocean, if you can see it there. This is a Napolitano Hotel and Casino. I've stayed here a few times before. It's right on the ocean, but it's a little loud. There's a little pool up there too, it's kind of nice. So this is like one of the city parks. They have exercise machine stuff over there. This is the child side, like there's child playground here. But over there they have like exercise equipment that you can try. It's kind of like the Flintstone workout stuff, but it works pretty good. And a lot of people run on this road in the morning. However, the traffic here is kind of rough. Okay, inside the thrifty rental car place. Inside the Sheraton Hotel. It's also thrifty in dollar, and I was just telling them there's a lot of cheap cars in Santo Domingo, so I'm looking for the cheapest one. I have my own insurance on my credit card, so we'll see what it ends up coming up to. Okay, despite showing him the $20 or $15 car rentals, he's saying the cheapest he can give it to me for is $60. So probably $30 if I take off insurance and everything. So I'm gonna go check around a few more places. This is the Sheraton, which is right on the main drag. It's a nice hotel. Prices from about $60 to $150 depending on season and stuff. So I'm gonna walk up to the Alamo and check it out before I do something online. is the Jaguar, the Renaissance. They have a good casino and a really nice pool area. There's also a great restaurant inside. I've stayed here. It was redone a while ago. It's a bit more expensive for a long-term stay, but pretty good for short-term. And again, right across from the ocean and the main drag. A lot of the local artists put their stuff up right alongside the beach for sale. This is a really good seafood restaurant. Just, I guess this is a little bit to the west of the main hotel area. Osteo Tropica. The waters are nice. It's not really a beach. It's more rocks, and there's a good bit of trash, but it's kind of hard right next to the main city, I guess, with all the trash stuff here. But as soon as you get away from the cities, the beaches are actually pretty nice. And I've eaten here a few times in the past. Really good seafood and pretty good prices also. And still walking down towards Alamo Rental Car. This is the main drag still. This building has been here for at least 7 or 8 years. I don't know if it's abandoned or whatever. These two buildings were started and never finished. And they've just been sitting like that at least since 2010, 2011 time frame. So it's kind of weird, I don't know. This is Alamo National Rental Car. It's right up on the corner across from there. I'll put it on the map if I remember. Okay, just got a car set up at Alamo for a couple days from now. This is the horse ride. If you got a chica, they hook you up to give them a ride. The horses have seen better days. That's gas per liter, I believe. And I'm walking the road parallel to the beach, parallel to the main drag, back towards Zona Colonial Area. One-way streets are kind of optional. I was driving an Uber back from the airport, and guy passed a cop. The cop had his lights on, was driving in front of us, and our taxi passed him like he was standing still without even thinking about it. So the driving here is kind of there's a stadium down back there. The road I'm walking now is behind all of the hotels that I walked up. It's basically the road behind them, so this is the back lot.
Hello, sir.
Hey, how are you doing?
No, I seen you somewhere. I just don't remember.
I've been around. One of the times I was here, there was some big election. I think this is the Purple Party. So they all dress in purple t-shirts and stuff, if I remember right. I think that's like their headquarters building. This is the backside of the Sheraton. And we're making our way towards Zona Colonial. Buses have definitely seen better days. Those guys drive crazy all around the city. So when you're driving a rental car, definitely watch out for the public cars. These buses will cut you off and not think twice about it. This one right here. Cemetery. drove by that the other day. These trees. And walking past the cemetery. So this little park that's coming up kind of lets you know that you're at the beginning of Zona Colonial on the walking street area. That's how I always remembered it. Now I'll put it up on the map so I can see what I'm talking about. So this is the other side of the park coming down. I don't remember the name of it. I need to put that up on the map also. And then right up across from that main gateway is the is where the walking street starts. Good, man. I'm good. Not today. Next week. Next week, maybe?
No problem. Check it out.
No, I'll come back, man. I'm good. Next week, man. Next week. Next week. You got me. Haircut. Hard sell.
No, pero si yo lo enroco así.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Pero venga, una tarjeta.
Thank you. Thank you.
Una tarjeta.
No good.
No problem. Ven, una.
No. I'm
Lucky,
good.
ven, una
Thank you.
tarjeta,
Thank you.
ven.
And I'm actually not sure what she was trying to sell me. Something with the eyes. Maybe my eyes need to be lotioned up or something.
¿Cómo así? Yo prefiero la
I'm good, man. Thank you.
eso para tu.
So this building up here has 1929 on the roof of it up there. This is getting towards the end of Walking Street. So there's the cathedral and Columbus's house and a few of the other places we walk by. And this is the famous square that you'll see in a lot of the pictures of Santo Domingo. Basically with this statue and I think it's a cathedral in the background. And I used to know all this. It's been a few years since I've seen it. That's like the classic picture right there. All the tourist groups and all the boats will come through and hit that up. So this is back towards the main tourist area. And there's thousands of pigeons. There's a bunch of cafes and tourist type restaurants. Also souvenir shops and stuff. This is where I usually hang out when I'm in Santo Domingo. There's quite a few hotels around this area too, ranging anywhere from price from like $15 a night to a couple $100 a night, depending on where you want to stay and what you want to do, how long you're here. I've stayed in that hotel right there on the corner before with a little cafe. Not too bad, not too expensive, but again, depends on what time of year and how the crowd. I don't remember what I used here. I think it was Kayak or Travago. But Agoda does have prices here also. That's the crazy pigeon. So these are all the cafes and stuff along here. So I'll probably find somewhere. I'm good, man. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. They have good cigars and stuff for sale up in there. These huge trees. So this is probably my favorite little area down here. Zona is where I usually sit. Zona is this little side alley right off the main drag there. And this is a restaurant. Okay, so this is a new restaurant. At least new to me, so I'm going to try it out. I usually go down to Zona and the place down there, but this is right in the corner, so we'll see. So they're doing an interview for the restaurant. I've had my one glass of sangria and I'm gonna head out. The weather's getting a little dicey, so we'll see. Okay, Felix Bar, just try. Thank you. Very good. So now I'm gonna walk down towards the other end of the street. This place usually gets really busy later on at night. I'm here pretty early, like 4 or 5 p.m. and definitely on the weekends also. So come early if you're coming on the weekend, if you want a good table. All right, there are a bunch of tours and a ton of guys who will give you a tour if you just ask. But there's a bunch of little courtyards. A lot of the buildings are just amazing. The old architecture from way back in the day, from like 1600s, I think, or no, the 16th century. And I think I said this was Columbus's house. I think it's his kid. I think it was Columbus's family. But it's just down this road. This is the whole area down Zona Colonial. This is one of the cathedrals right here, the entrance. I'm not going to go in. I'll just walk up a little bit and take a look at it. But again, the old stone architecture. Oh no, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, it's open. Don't like it, open to the public.
Yeah, just taking a look. Thank you.
Where from?
United States.
Is it the mosque? The mosque? Important place. Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic. The presidents,
Yes.
writers, poets, philosophers, Capitani Generale, and military.
Yes.
See, one of them will be there stored by 2 hours.
Mhm.
2 hours will be chamber, another one. The basement is the same white colors of Dominican flag, right?
Mm-hmm.
Blue represents the sky, white is red and blue of the heroes.
Yes.
It's open to the public, don't buy any ticket.
Yeah, I'll come back later and probably do the full tour. I'm just taking a look now, just walking by.
Go, will be closed.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it too.
Thank you.
Where from?
United States.
What place?
Wisconsin, way up north. Way up north.
You been to Colombo House?
Yes, I have. I've been here before. I'm just doing a walkthrough again. Thank you, though.
Enjoy.
Lots of tour guides will hook you up. Just ask. I've gone through the tour a couple times. It's kind of late at night, so I'm not going to go through the tour again. But I do appreciate them, and I know it's a good side job, especially when it's busy. And this little area is kind of amazing too. This little tiny church. So again, the whole Zona Colonial is on the UNESCO Heritage Site, and it's like the oldest, I think it's the oldest city in the Western Hemisphere. Or maybe it's the oldest European city in the Western Hemisphere. I have to go back. I'm missing my facts. So I'm gonna have to double check myself. And this ferry, I'm not sure if this is it, but this ferry goes to, or there are ferries that go to San Juan, Puerto Rico. So you can jump on a car ferry that goes right over to Puerto Rico and come over here. This is the river. So if you go out this way, that's the ocean. This is the river and the outlet that the supposedly they brought or Columbus, when they came, they took harbor or took refuge in this little river area. And again, there's a whole bunch of history on Wikipedia about this stuff, and I'm not doing it justice, but this is part of the area right here, and this is the fortress walls. And you can see how it goes down. We drove by there yesterday with the taxi. Yeah, I did these tours probably 5 years ago, so I don't remember a lot of the details, but it's pretty amazing. You know, the architecture stuff, everything that's here, and how long it's been here. You know, the English went. I think the English, and I can't remember the names of some of the guys, but they brought some ships and tried to besiege this area also. And this is the main plaza. Hola. YouTube. And I don't speak more than 10 words of Spanish that I remember at any given time. So over here, there's a whole bunch of restaurants down that area there. They're more expensive, definitely tourist area restaurants. And this is Columbus House, and that's Columbus's kid from what I remember. He's the guy who actually built it. And please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But this is the main plaza. That's the gate we saw the other day. and they are getting ready for Christmas, so it's they have the big red Christmas tree. And actually at night, this is pretty cool because I saw this a few years ago. And this is all lit up and there's a ton of people here. This is like a Thursday, so there's not a lot of people out. I'll try and hit it on a Friday and Saturday night and do some nightlife stuff. But it's pretty cool to see this whole area. There's a ton of old churches, old cathedrals on the other side. The architecture in this area too is pretty amazing. And you can get tours of all these buildings. So up that way is where I had sangria. We would just walk down that way here. This is the Columbus House. And I can't remember the exact guy's name. This is the whole little plaza area. Again, there's a bunch of cafes and really nice restaurants right there. The government buildings from back in the day are supposedly up over that way. And all of it's moved since then. This is more of a tourist area now. Another YouTuber, I guess. And this is the old house. So again, if you're coming here, definitely take the tour before you head up to Sosua and Puerto Plata, Punta Cana, all the tourist areas. But it's good to hit some of the history ahead of time. And again, when I was in Venice, I saw a wooden choir booth that was built out of wood, and it had a date on it before America was discovered. So it's just one of those things that all kind of brings the history stuff together. So this stairway down and the wall, that bridge there is the one we came across from the airport. There's a shortcut if you're going to the airport and you want to skip the traffic on the big bridge, is to take this low road and drive along the coast until you merge out onto the big road that takes you out to the airport. The airport's about 30 or 40 minutes away. So yeah, you're definitely better trying to get Uber to come from the airport. It was like it was like 600 pesos from the with Uber, where it's going to be like $40 US if you take the straight up fee they're trying to offer you at the airport. Also, the rental car. So I got a rental car. The fee was $10 per day, but he's trying to add he's trying to add liability insurance for like another $10, and they don't have any of the small cars available, so they're going to charge me extra to upgrade, even though I don't want to upgrade. So I'll probably get it for $20 a day, even though the price is $10 online. There's always a side hustle or side fee that you don't get online when you first go check it out. So just be aware of that, especially if you're going to prepay. And I'm definitely feeling that one big sangria. So if my narration is a bit jacked up, that's why. All right, so it's already past sunset. That's Christopher Columbus, or the Columbus House. And I'm gonna walk back to the Airbnb and call it a night, or I might come out later and do some nightlife stuff. But it is a Thursday, so I'll probably wait 1 or 2 more days before I do that. Anyway. So the Dominican Army marching by the debutante, I think. Lots of crazy chicas. And I'm getting ready to walk out of the square. I just haven't done it yet. So I'm gonna go walk by the main ATMs that I normally use when I'm here. And they're usually just up on this corner up over here. That's where there's like 4 banks, or 3 or 4 banks, all in the corner. And they have good ATMs. When I was at the Sheraton earlier for the rental car stuff, I pulled out some cash and it worked there. Usually the hotels and the banks will let you pull out 10 grand at a time, 10,000 pesos. And it's similar to the Philippines, where the peso here is worth just over 50, or it's 50 plus pesos to the US dollar. So it's surprisingly similar. Okay, so that cool little cathedral is right over there. This is a bank over here. Kitty corner that way is the Columbus House. There's a bank here with an ATM. There's a bank over there with an ATM. And there's another one right there. I think today is a holiday. Most stuff seems to be closed right now. So maybe it's late. But there's a few ATMs down in this area if you need to pull out money. Scotiabank. And I'd have to double check this stuff tomorrow. All that stuff looks like it's removed and closed now. So these 2 or 3 bank areas seem to all be closed. I'll do a double check on where the ATMs are. But at the Sheraton's where I got the last ATM out of the casino, and they let me pull 10 grand or 10,000 pesos out. This is the old architecture from, and I can't really tell when it was built. I'd have to double check some of it, but you can tell the old stone on some of these is definitely very old, while some of it's from the 20s or the 1800s. But traffic these days is definitely crowded, and this area is more crowded than most. But Dominican Republic, Santo Domingo area has really bad traffic problems. At least every time I've driven here, it's been really difficult to get around. Once you get out of Santo Domingo, it's much better. And this is that little courtyard I walked by earlier, if you do remember. And that cathedral where the guy tried to give me a tour is right there. So it's all within walking distance if you come to this part of town at least. And there's more basketball over there. And when I was flying in, I saw probably 10 or 15 baseball, not stadiums, but baseball areas that were set up. You know, they had lighting, and even, you know, for a relatively small towns, we'll have a baseball area, kind of like the Philippines, where a lot of the areas will have basketball courts. In Dominican Republic, a lot of the areas will have baseball courts, not a baseball court, but a baseball, what's the word for a baseball stadium or baseball court? Anyway, I don't play a lot of baseball, but that's definitely the Santo Domingo and Dominican Republic's pastime instead of basketball. The tourist train, and we're back into the area. So I just came from down the road there, and that's where Columbus House is. You can also get, and that's the Felix Bar and Zona, where I just came from. Now we're back to the main square in this area here.